Welcome to the Introduction to FieldAware. This video consists of a brief overview followed by an in-depth product demonstration. FieldAware is an innovative, approachable field service software suite that answers the needs of growing field service organizations. Our made-for-mobile solution places the focus on field workers and back-office personnel by providing a streamlined approach to mobility. Our focus is to not only increase efficiency and transparency, but to support the optimization of your entire field service operation. FieldAware was founded in 2009 with corporate headquarters in Dallas, Texas, and research and development in Dublin, Ireland. We currently have over 700 customers with more than 15,000 users in 30 countries. FieldAware has been consistently rated as one of the easiest to use field service software solutions on the market today. Our customers span from a variety of industries as shown by the logos represented here. FieldAware customers also range in sizes from small to medium to enterprise businesses. When companies look for field service management software, there are a variety of needs driving the initiative. What we hear most is the need to increase productivity of their technicians. They want to be scalable without adding more resources, reduce cost without reducing efficiency, and want more visibility into their operations and better communication. They also want to make it easier for the user experience and allow their techs to be self-reliant. FieldAware meets these requirements with a robust and configurable set of core functionality bundled into the primary solution that fully automates most field service organizations. Two applications make up the core of the FieldAware suite: the web application and the mobile application. FieldAware Web helps businesses provide better service at lower costs by automating administration, work order management, scheduling, dispatch, inventory, asset management, and the execution of work that occurs in the field. Our simple made-for-the-cloud software syncs with the back-office business systems, helping you get more done each day and improving visibility into the entire process. The FieldAware mobile app is easy to use and takes advantage of the unique capabilities of mobile devices and mobile operating systems such as iOS, Android, and Windows. The customer's work history, job details, and documentation are all right there in the palm of your field team's hands, empowering field personnel to create quotes or work orders, update the status of work orders, and invoice customers, even when a mobile network is not available. Route planning helps minimize travel time, and customers can sign off on the job right on the device, so you can invoice faster and more accurately. FieldAware also offers additional value-add modules to support more advanced and/or customized functionality to ensure organizations of any size or complexity can easily transform their field delivery processes. FieldAware Forms provides you with the enhanced data collection and workflow capabilities to increase data accuracy, speedy data collection, automate data routing, and create a seamless customer experience. Customer Portal provides an on-demand method for your customers to monitor their projects in near real time. Now you can grow your customer base without the need to grow your customer support team. FieldAware Insights is a business intelligence and analytics platform that enables informed decision-making, turning field service operational data into valuable business insights that enable true visibility and decision-making in your business. For greater control over workforce management and route optimization, FieldAware Smart Scheduler has built-in logic that helps you increase your employee and asset utilization, taking into consideration service regions, work skills, location, and route efficiency. With FieldAware's inventory integration, you can have peace of mind knowing that your field engineers have the parts they need on their service vehicles to successfully complete each call. For connectors, FieldAware integrates with multiple types of enterprise software solutions from ERP and CRM to accounting and point-of-sale systems. Our open architecture ensures we can connect effectively and quickly with almost any system. Let's take a look. For this demonstration, we're going to walk through a scenario where a customer calls in requesting service on multiple pieces of equipment. The workflow that we're going to do in response to this is to generate a quote for service, send that off to the customer, and upon approval, we will convert that quote into a job, which we will then dispatch to a field technician. That field technician will see that job on their mobile device, take action on the job by logging their time, task completion, taking photos, and getting a signature. The information updated on that mobile device will then go back into the FieldAware web interface and show all the completed job information. And from that point on, we can then invoice that completed job and pull analytics on the job's performance. So let's get started. As discussed previously, FieldAware is divided into the web application and the mobile application. We're going to start the workflow in the web application by starting with that quote. Up here in the top left-hand corner, I'm going to go to Jobs and Quotes and select the New Quote tab. The quote and the job are going to look very similar. So I'm going to choose the customer and site location for this quote. The customer calling in is Premier Services. So I just typed in the word Premier, and all of my Premier customers show up in this list. They're calling about their Dallas office, so I'll select that Dallas office. The customer contact on site is Jim. He's going to be our main point of contact. And we're also going to populate in the description a brief scope of work that we're scoping for. In the job description field, we're going to enter the details about the quote and the services being requested. So a quick, simple set of steps to work through. The job description on the quote will give that brief scope of work of the services that we're quoting for. This is also going to auto-populate the job when we get to that step. Next on the quote, much like the job, are a set of custom fields. Custom fields are meant to provide extra detail to your quotes and work orders, as well as other areas of the system, making it more relevant to your business. These custom fields are meant to not only give the technicians more information about the jobs, but also the ability for those technicians to fill out these custom fields or make any changes, such as documenting with a checkbox field if more parts are required, or populating a text field to record issues identified. These are just some examples right here, but all of our customers begin with a blank slate. The next steps will be the assets and tasks. The assets that we're quoting for service on are any piece of equipment with make, model, and serial numbers, and that you want to build a service history behind over time. So the first generator at this customer site that we're going to be working on is generator number 1. The system will ask us to link this to a task or task group. This is incredibly important because logging the service history behind our equipment is very important for future reporting and for predictive maintenances in the future. So each asset will be assigned to a set of tasks. Let's add the task generator maintenance. The generator maintenance task group is a combination of 3 different tasks. We find ourselves doing the same services over and over again, so we just group them in the task to make it simple. We have a battery check, a fuel systems check, and an engine check. And you see that the assets have already been assigned to this group. When this becomes a job and we dispatch this to the field, we will be able to assign crew resources to each task as well. So we're going to add that second generator. You see that our list has been filtered down to only the remaining assets at this site location. And again, we're going to do generator maintenance on this as well. The flat rate pricing is already built in, and now I can save this quote and send it to the customer. Now that the quote has been generated, we're going to email this to the customer by pressing the email button on the right-hand side. This will present us with a list of information such as the customer recipients. This helps a lot because we're not going to accidentally send this quote to a separate customer. We're going to choose Jim as the recipient, and we're going to choose to show or hide certain information about this quote, such as hiding costs but showing price. We can preview the PDF by clicking the Preview PDF button. Here's a PDF sample of the quote that we're going to send to the customer. It has our logo in the top right-hand corner, the customer's information in the top left corner, quote details in the middle, also information from those custom fields and scope of work. Below that, we have the list of assets that we're going to be working on today. These are different views of the generator components that we're going to be servicing. Below that is a line item breakdown of the services to be quoted, along with pricing information, descriptions on the tasks themselves, as well as any materials that we find to be quoted. Below the asset, we're going to see a line item breakdown of all of the services to be performed and materials to be consumed on site. We also have hyperlinks to different forms or data sheets that we'd like to attach with the quote. At the bottom of the quote, we have final pricing. Once the customer has reviewed and approved or rejected the quote, we're going to tap the respective button on the quote. Let's say that the customer approved, so we'll hit approve. On the right-hand side, you can see that a few buttons have appeared now, one of which is convert to job. This is going to allow us to convert this quote into a job which we can then dispatch. We can also dispatch quotes if we need to send out an estimator or send out somebody to do an assessment. Let's convert this to a job now. When a job is created from a quote, you see that a lot of the information from that quote has auto-populated into the job. We still have our customer and site location, our contact, and scope of work. As we move down the job, we're going to see the custom fields again. These custom fields are incredibly important because this will give the technician additional details about the job, such as what to look out for, categorizing the job, or the ability to log some additional notes. As you can see right here, I've labeled this job type as a maintenance, so this job will then fall into my maintenance reporting. For more information about advanced reporting and analytics, check out our FieldAware Insights video. As we scroll down, we're going to see the scheduling job commands. We have the opportunity now to repeat this job, and what repeating the job is going to do is create a new version of this job once every time interval. As an example, if your preventative maintenance practice offers your customers quarterly maintenances on pieces of equipment or the site in general, we can have this job repeat itself once every 3 months on a given day of the month, and we can also have that job delay the dispatch so it will dispatch itself a set period of time prior to the job start. An example of this would be, our next maintenance is not for another 3 months, but the day before that maintenance is scheduled, I want this job brought to the attention of the dispatchers or to the assigned technicians. This prevents jobs from falling through the cracks and being forgotten. Now, the crew I'm going to assign to this job will be made up of the crew leader, Brian, and crew members, Tim and Scott. Brian has been assigned the role of job lead. What that's going to do is grant him additional privileges on the job, such as time logging or task completion on behalf of the other technicians. We do have a configuration offering that allows for certain technicians to run their jobs autonomously so they can control their own time and task completion if they also have the FieldAware app and license. This is all permission-based, of course. Below the crew section, we have our time slots. This is going to allow us to either assign the job to one single time slot, such as today at 11:47 a.m. for a given duration. We're going to say that this job takes 3 hours to complete, and all 3 resources are on this time slot. If I wanted to add an additional time slot, as an example for a larger project that lasts 2-3 days or even a few weeks, I can assign the second time slot to this as the following Monday at 8 a.m., and say I only need 2 of my crew members. I can assign Brian and Scott to that job because Tim is not needed on that day. This will allow you to use your technicians more efficiently and give them enough heads up so they can plan their days accordingly. At the bottom here, you see we have the assets and tasks that were quoted for. The assets that we're going to be working on today are 2 Honda generators, and the tasks below that are the services to be performed on each generator. We can see that the first 3 tasks are for generator 1, and the second set of tasks are for generator 2. At this point, now that we have a crew assigned, we can assign each of these tasks to a crew member. I'm going to assign the battery check to Tim, and the fuel and engine systems checks to Brian. You see, we can also leave tasks unassigned, which will allow any technician to work on them. We're going to give this next one to Scott, and Brian is going to do the fuel and engine check. With the tasks, you can also see that we can have items that are predetermined, such as consumable materials like oil, fuel, replacement springs, and we can also send the job out there with attachments. This comes in handy when you're sending the technicians out there with reference documentation, service forms to be filled out, safety forms to be filled out, or any other type of reference documentation. I'm going to hit save and save this job to our calendar. Now that we have pre-scheduled a job, that job will now show up on our scheduling and dispatch board. You can see right here, the job for Premier Services Incorporated has been given to Brian, Scott, and Tim, and labeled accordingly to the crew role. Brian has the single silhouette showing he's the crew leader, and Scott and Tim have the multiple silhouettes showing that they are crew members. Let's talk about the scheduling and dispatch board. This board will allow you to get a bird's eye view of your field service operations and answer a couple of questions, such as, what are the status of my jobs? Are we running late to anything, or did we miss any appointments? Having a bird's eye view makes sure that you stay on top of your field service operation, even if it's across a staff of multiple dispatchers. What makes up the scheduling and dispatch board is the list of technicians or field resources on the left, the time of the day across the top. The red bar is the current date and time, so this will crawl across the screen as the day progresses. And the jobs in the middle here are going to answer a few different questions, such as, what are the status of my jobs? You can tell that by looking at the color code. The blue jobs are scheduled but not yet started. We can also have various statuses of scheduled jobs. As you can see out here on the right-hand side, we have Premier Services, Inc., a separate job that's in a shaded status showing that it's just tentative. Think of it as being penciled in. This will allow you to arrange your schedule without dispatching alerts to the field technicians and causing confusion. So this will also allow you to do some what-if analysis and put together different scenarios. This job down here with the check mark means that this job has been confirmed. So if you have an approval process and want to review the schedule before dispatch, this is the way to do it. Once a job has been fully dispatched, it will turn into the dark blue color. This will also send an alert to the mobile device of that technician in the form of a push notification such as an email or text would. The green color indicates that a job is actively being worked on. So we have a technician on site working on that job. The orange job down here in the corner is paused, and that can be for any number of reasons. A lunch break, a parts run, a weather delay, the technician could not access the site, or they just couldn't finish up the job today and they're going to be resuming tomorrow. We provide a field for the technician to explain why the job is paused. The black color is indicating that these jobs are closed and ready for invoicing. As your staff continues to grow and scale, this view might become a little cluttered. We can establish saved views to look at your business in more bite-sized pieces. We do that by creating separate views and storing them in the top left-hand corner. So you can flip between these views, and as an example here, you see that I have different crew sets for installation, maintenance, and service. I have views for dispatching equipment, and I have views to look at different regions since my company spans the entire nation. I have a California crew, a New York, and a Texas crew at the bottom of that list. This is going to help me make sure that I get the right job to the right technician at the right location. We can look at this in a multi-day view as well, from a 5, 7, or even month day. We can also choose a custom date range to look out into the future for availability. Our planning mode allows you to move a job through the approval status or even through a planning situation. This is where those tentative, confirmed, and dispatched job functions come from. Scheduling a job will help us create a job from scratch. In addition to the chronological view you're looking at now, we can also visualize our jobs on a map view. What the map view is going to do is allow you to see your jobs as they spread throughout the map and also get an idea of where your technicians are supposed to be when you're scheduling unassigned jobs. In this view, we're seeing a list of all of our technicians and pins dropping on the job sites themselves. The coloring is going to match with that job status, and the number is going to match up with the appropriate technician. As an example, number 2 belongs to Abner, number 3 to Brian, 4 to David, and so on. To view more information about these jobs, simply click the pin. Knowing where your technicians are versus where the next job is very important. Our feature of Ping the Tech will allow you to plot a pin on the map for the last known location of a user's mobile device. This helps tremendously when we're looking at our unassigned queue up here in the top right corner, which gives us a list, in this case, of 3 jobs that have not been scheduled yet. We can represent these jobs on the calendar by clicking the unassigned pin in the assignees list. We can also enlarge the pins to bring them out to the front. We see that we have 1 job up in the northwest part of town, and we have 2 other jobs near the downtown area. This will give us a visual on which technicians are working on jobs in that area, and also by looking at the user's last known location, we can also get an idea of who is physically closest to the job. To schedule an unassigned job, all it takes is a simple drag and drop. I'm going to put this job for the AGL contractors at the end of the workday for Mike West. Simple click, drag, and drop will assign that job to that technician in a confirmed status. If we need to move this through the process, we can also flip to our planning mode. Once this job is assigned to the technician, they'll receive that alert on their mobile device. The next part of our demonstration will be covering the mobile application. They're going to sign into the job, work the job, and then all of the information captured on that job will be brought back here into the web interface. The FieldAware mobile application will give the technicians unprecedented views into their jobs and their components. What I'm showing you right now is our application on an iPad. This application is also formatted to work on iOS phones and tablets, as well as Android phones and tablets. This is also going to work in an offline mode. And what that means is, once we synchronize this application, all the information from the system will be put onto the device, allowing you to work in an offline mode. Information captured while in an offline mode will be saved to the device, and once that technician gets back into Signal, all they need to do is press the sync button in the top left, and their device and the office will be on the same page. So let's get started. As the field technician, I need to see a list of my jobs and what's expected of me. In the middle, I have a list of just my jobs, and I can also represent these jobs on the map. This will show me where I am in relation to my jobs. You see that I have one completed job north of Arlington, and I have one job to be done near Farmers Branch. When I select this job, I can now get turn-by-turn directions on how to get to that job site. Within the job are a few core components, such as the high-level job details, customer information, information about the assets we're working on, the crew that we're going with, and the tasks to be completed. To start off my workday, I can go to my clock in the top left corner. Time logging options include the daily time clock, as an example, that 8 to 5 time clock meant for payroll. We also have time logging per job for both travel and labor. So at the beginning of the day, I'm going to clock in. Our timekeeper function at the bottom here will show me a list of my clock in and clock out times. When I'm ready to start on this job, I'm going to choose the clock again, and for this job, I'm going to start traveling. An option box appears to determine which part of the crew is traveling. In this situation, I'm in control of my own time clock, whereas Tim and Scott have their own logins and are going to control their own time. So I'm going to start traveling. That's going to put me into a travel status. On the Schedule a Dispatch board, you'll see that I now have a purple truck next to my name and the job showing that I'm in transit. One of the biggest struggles of a field service operation is just not knowing what's going on. Having these status updates come back in near real time will help give the dispatchers the reassurance that the day is progressing as planned. As we arrive on site, we're going to press the clock button again to end the travel. We're presented with an option to either stop our travel or stop travel and clock out, but we're still working on the job, so I'll just say we're stopped travel. This will give a break in the time log between when the technician parks the truck and knocks on the front door. If you would like to continue through that step, we can always start the job, which will end that travel automatically. Starting the job will put our job into an active status. To keep our customers informed, a text message may be sent to the customers who opt in to that feature. As an example here on the right-hand side, you can see that an alert was sent to our customer that Brian has started traveling to the job, and when he started working on the job, they receive a separate notification. A text message will also be sent when the work has been completed. On the Scheduling and Dispatch board, when the job is started, it will turn green. Right here we can see that Brian and his crew have all begun work on the job. Now that the entire crew has begun working on the job, the high-level job details will give me information about this job, such as that scope of work, additional information through custom fields, which I can edit if given permission to do so, and signature capture from the customer. In the Customers tab, I have the high-level customer contact information, as well as the contact information for our site representative, Jim Brooks. A history behind the site is available through that yellow history button, and that will give me the last 10 work orders for that customer site location. Information about the assets can be found in the Assets tab. And we can see through this screen that we also have a history behind this piece of equipment. Below we have the make, model, and serial number of the equipment, as well as descriptions, manufacturer's guidelines, and maintenance notes about the equipment. I can see not only all of the tasks to be performed, but the ones that I'm specifically assigned to, such as the fuel and engine check. At the bottom are reference documents that will follow this piece of equipment from job to job. Examples might be maintenance guides, parts lists, or any other data sheets. The crew screen will detail out the crew members for the job, how to get in contact with them, and, if given permission to do so, control over time logging. The crew may be edited with the add and remove buttons at the top. This menu will detail all of the tasks that are on this job. The task list will detail all of the tasks for the entire job, who is assigned to them, and which pieces of equipment we're going to be working on. Once inside the fuel systems check, we'll be able to see a description of this task, things to check for, policy and procedure, and then of course fill out additional custom fields as needed. The notes field will allow me to take some additional notes either by typing or speaking them in. The fuel system lines are free of corrosion. Period. Everything looks good. Using speech to text and taking notes saves a lot of time and reduces the urge to abridge my notes. The attachment section serves multiple purposes, such as taking a photo of the piece of equipment that we're working on or filling out any other forms that need to be filled out. I'm going to take a photo of the piece of equipment we're working on. To do so, I simply hit Add, Take Photo or Video, and take a photo of the piece of equipment. When I'm happy with the photo, I'll select Use Photo and give the photo a name and a caption. For this photo, I'm going to document that it's in good condition. The FieldAware application offers unlimited storage, so take as many photos and videos as you need. This task also has a fuel check form that I need to complete. I'm going to open up this PDF form on the mobile device and edit any fields that are in the purple shade. Each photo can also have a watermark of when and where the photo was taken. Once the form has been filled out, we can close it out with a signature and hit Save in the top right corner. This form will synchronize in the background from the mobile device back to the web office, reducing time delays in retrieving paperwork and reducing the time it takes for us to gather all the information we need to invoice this job. Once I'm finished with the task, I'm going to check this task off the list on the left-hand corner. Now onto the engine systems check. In my notes field, I'm going to indicate a new filter is required. Period. An oil change is also required. In the items section on a task, we're going to determine what material and how much was consumed on a job. For the engine oil, let's say I had to use 3. I'm going to check that quantity box, type in 3, and hit OK. This will indicate to the system that 3 units of oil and 1 air filter were consumed on the job. To add items that were not already assigned to the job, I'm just going to click Add, and an items list will pull up. We can smart search or barcode scan our way through this list, find the item we're looking for, and with one tap, add that to the job. For example, I might require a new air hose, so I'll select air hose. That will consume 1 on the job. Once I've completed all of my tasks, I'm going to check them all off the list and indicate that I'm finished with the job. Up in the top left corner, I'm going to press the clock button and complete this job. The system will ask if I'm just done with the job or if I'm done with the job and the workday. This was my last job for the day, so I'm going to go ahead and clock out. I'm going to add a signature and have the customer sign off. Jim is our customer, so they're going to sign, print, and at the bottom, agree to terms and conditions. Hitting finish will complete my part of the job and update the office of my progress. Having automated notifications to our customer helps tremendously with customer satisfaction. On the schedule dispatch board, completed jobs are indicated with the black coloring, and are readjusted to the actual time the job took. If you remember before, we had committed 3 hours to that job with the crew of 3. That job took substantially less time, so the scheduling board has readjusted it and shrunk it down to the actual time. To fill that time, the dispatcher can go into their unassigned queue and schedule more jobs on these technicians to get done for the rest of the day. Another struggle of a field service operation: if only we would have known that our technicians were finished earlier, we could have gotten more jobs done during the day, increased our revenue and bottom line, and satisfied our customers with earlier service. Now, having the visibility to when a technician is truly finished with their day and near real-time updates, we're able to stay on top of and optimize our daily schedules. Now that the job has been completed, as a manager, we're able to go through this job for the first time since it's been completed. We're able to see the customer that was serviced, the scope of work to be completed, custom fields edited both in the office and in the field. The crew that was dispatched, Brian, Scott, and Tim, are now completed with the job, and their times have also been logged in the time and labor section here at the bottom. These individuals were scheduled for a 3-hour commitment to this job, but actually, they only worked for 17 to 18 minutes. Let's look at Brian's time log. The time log will show us when he started and stopped traveling, and when he started and stopped laboring on the job itself. If these times need to be adjusted, they can be adjusted from the office. As a manager, I also want to see what was done on the job and making sure that not only was it done, but was it done correctly. Viewing the task list after the job is done will show us which tasks were completed, the notes that were captured by the technician, and any other notes, photos, or forms that were filled out, and finally, at the very bottom, the customer signature. Let's take a look inside of a completed task. The fuel systems check performed by Brian on Generator 1 revealed these notes. The attachments provided were a photo of the piece of equipment, and a form was filled out showing the fuel status. To view this job in a summarized work order, we simply hit the print button in the top right corner. This work order can then be emailed to the customer. Let's see what that looks like. The PDF work order will detail out the information captured on the job. It will have your logo and your information in the top right, information about the customer in the top left, job summary in the middle, including the crew, custom fields, and scope of work, and then information on the pieces of equipment we worked on with photos, and information about the tasks that were performed with their photos, notes, and forms. It will also detail out the materials consumed on site. At the bottom, we will have the customer signature and time logs. Pricing information may also be included if you choose. When you're satisfied with the job and its completion, we can now move into an invoice. FieldAware offers basic invoice capabilities such as creation and sending of the invoice to the customer, or we also have open integrations to multiple accounting packages such as QuickBooks. Check out our videos on QuickBooks Enterprise as well as QuickBooks Online for more information. These invoices may also be integrated into CRM and ERP systems or larger enterprise platforms. Check out our NetSuite or Salesforce videos for more information. Gathering information in the field is only half the process. Taking that information and developing insights critical to your business is the next step. The FieldAware dashboards will come with 12 interactive dashboards representing information such as revenue and job performance. Let's check out job revenue by job type. This dashboard will detail out revenue per job type of my business. By hovering over the specific part of the graph, we can see not only how much revenue was generated through installation jobs, but also what percentage of the total this makes up. Clicking into the installation part of this pie chart will also reveal the jobs that contributed to that number. Filtering through the date range is as simple as clicking on our date range field. Let's say, for instance, we wanted to just look at the last quarter. We can choose a separate time range, and the chart will readjust itself. We can also filter down to specific aspects of this report. Another dashboard could be centered around completed versus invoiced revenue. This chart will show you the amount of revenue that's still on the table because we have not invoiced for those given jobs. For example, the gray section of these bars represents the total amount of revenue. The blue section is the amount of revenue that we have invoiced for, and the red is what we have not invoiced for. This will give us insight into the amount of money left to be invoiced for. By selecting the red portion of the bar, we can pull a list of the jobs to be invoiced. For more information and a deeper dive into FieldAware Insights, check out our video. Now that you've seen the demo and witnessed the power of FieldAware in action, let's talk for a minute about the customer experience at FieldAware. The FieldAware customer journey spans implementation, training, customer success, support and development, and at FieldAware, the customer is always first. FieldAware has proven experience in getting businesses implemented and operational on the FieldAware platform swiftly. We do that by using implementation milestones in 4 phases. During the initiation and design phase, we identify the project team from both FieldAware and your organization, and we validate the scope of the project and put a plan into action. During the build phase, data is loaded into your FieldAware environment through import or integration. Your FieldAware environment will also be configured to meet the business needs that were outlined in the design phase. For the validate stage, user validation is performed by your team with assistance from your FieldAware project team to ensure your workflows are supported from end to end. During the deploy stage, we will complete preparation and training of the appropriate staff for go-live. Upon successful implementation of FieldAware in your business, you'll be introduced to your personal customer success manager and transition to FieldAware support organization. Our FieldAware customer success team was rated as a market leader in the 2018 Customer Success Report, and for good reason. The team is highly experienced and embraces the customer journey methodology to help guide our customers to the quickest path to value. Even though our customers are unique and different, the way the team guides our customers is prescriptive. The customer success team knows that time is value, and it has a direct relationship to system adoption and customers' change management. We have a genuine desire to focus on your business and your journey to transform FieldAware from software to a vital business tool. In summary, why choose FieldAware for your field service management needs? We are innovative and modern. FieldAware was made for the mobile environment. We are easily integrated with your existing ERP and CRM technologies. We are configurable and flexible to meet the unique requirements of your business. We have vast experience with B2B services, making us relevant to your specific industry. We are robust not only in the scalability of our platform, but in the services we provide to support you. And finally, we deliver fast implementation and easy adoption so you can achieve a rapid return on your investment. Thank you for viewing this introduction to FieldAware. If you have requirements for any advanced modules, such as FieldAware Forms or FieldAware Insights, additional videos are available. Just ask your customer representative about access.